And thus another week begins. How was your weekend, everybody? Good, I hope. If not, it's okay. It'll get better. Um, I really should quit being lazy on Fridays and just record the Thursday vlog so these aren't quite so long. I'll try not to ramble on too long like I am now. Just get to the point. 98 words on 4 different poems. One of them is on DeviantArt now, one's going to be. When I wrote it, something didn't feel quite finished about it, or just like it wasn't good enough, so I'm gonna try to work with it a little bit more, though I'm not sure how, because I suck at editing. Speaking of which, that's next on the list. 88 words, editing the scene I've written the day before, which was a scene that's supposed to go after Portal 2. It has nothing to do with the story I'm writing, it's basically they are uncanny from each other because they both are um, similar in a way. So to make them less similar, I purposely try to figure out how this Chow from this one could be slightly different from a Chow from the other one, while still being Chow, but trying to interpret the canon character slightly differently. Interesting challenge. Editing is a not so interesting challenge for me. I suck at editing. It sometimes feels like I'm just swapping out words for other words that sounds better at the moment, but maybe tomorrow they won't. Now, some of it I really know I'm getting better. Like I'll take one out for a word that is stronger and means more. But for a lot of it, if I can tell that it needs a stronger word, I can't think of one, or it just feels like the sentence kind of ends at a well, it just ends, and it's like it's not dramatic enough. I mean, suddenly she's running away, and I built it up to be so dramatic, and then suddenly she escapes, just like that, just gone now. All the drama goes. So I'm not sure how to fix it though, without dragging out that part of the scene, which isn't even the big deal. So I don't know how to do that. Oh, shaking the laptop. Okay, so 186 words on Thursday. Do you have any tips for editing? Do you like editing? I mean, sometimes it's fun to take something you've already written, and work with it, and make it better. Well, not so much as fun. I just like seeing the end result and going, "Oh, that's so much better." But as of doing it, nah. I need coffee. Friday, I wrote 76 in 2 different poems and 7 on a DeviantArt journal. I'm not kidding. That was the whole journal, 7 words. It was just a thank you to Mark33 for drawing me an author tag. By the way, it is awesome. You can go check it out on DeviantArt. I asked for a cloaked figure that looked like my avatar on there, and he made it my avatar. It's awesome, and it says Rebel of Argon. It's fancy letters. It's just really cool. I love it. It's kind of like my watermark, I guess you could call it. My signature. I need to stop shaking the laptop. I It looks like a bookmark. The author tags on DeviantArt, they go on in place of the word literature on the thumbnails for poems and stories and such. And so you see that on there, and you can tell that it's that writer. You might know that already, what an author tag is. I might not have had to explain that, but that's what it is. And mine's so cool, I love it. I tried to make mine own once before. I might finish it and actually put it up in scraps to show everyone what it would have looked like if he had drawn me one. Oh gosh. I also wrote 530 words on my Portal story. Sounds like a lot. It's too bad I can't remember. Oh, what's what that scene was? It was a cool scene. It's this action sequence. Action sequences in Portal stories are fun because I get to play around with well portals. So that's what makes it's part of making fan fiction really fun. All different unique stuff I get to play with. Like the gels and the turrets and GLaDOS. I love writing snarky lines for her. So that was all 613 on Friday. Saturday, I wrote 109 on a blog post. Those are words I haven't said in forever. feels like anyway. Uh, I don't know what happened with my blog. I was last month started pretty with it, and it kind of dropped, and it took me forever to write that one blog post about characters being extraordinary and relatable, and then after that, I never got around to writing a scene for there, because I was too busy writing a story on DeviantArt, which is probably a bigger deal. Anyway, and then come this month, I just couldn't think of what I even wanted to do, so it took me forever to write this month on my blog post, because I didn't know what was going to be on this month on my blog, and I still don't know. I gotta come up with a writing tip and a prompt, because those always are on my blog. Um, I always do those every month. I can't think of what this month's are going to be. I'd like for them to be Halloween themed, so maybe something to do with monsters, or a dark spooky forest, or trick-or-treating, or something. Which is going to be easier for prompts than it is a tip, I think. Unless I can come up with some sort of tip about monsters. I'm not as well good with bad guys as I'm with good guys, though. It's always kind of annoyed me. My bad guys tend to be, oh, I am evil, and I'm working on that, but some of them really feel like they don't have don't have figured out why they're evil. They just are, which leads to people who smile evilly and monologue, and basically they're cartoon villains. And then, in my Sonic fanfiction, I set out to make someone look just like a cartoon villain. That's what he's meant to be, and he has a backstory and a reason for being evil. And what is up with that? Okay, fine. Go be a more complex character with a backstory that makes sense if you want to. I mean, if that's what you want. So, that post, just go back to what I was talking about before, because that went nowhere. Yeah, that post is up on my blog now, link in the description to my blog. I also wrote 15 on a song, 163 on a file, which isn't as impressive as it sounds because the files were pretty much pointless. It's just that I have to keep everything in a file. I have to just file everything, or else the ideas will keep pestering me. They will not get out of my head. So these were just drawing comics I wanted to draw, but I suck at drawing, so I can't draw them. So I just wrote out the script for them so they wouldn't keep popping up in my head. Draw me, draw me, draw me, draw me, something like that. So I have to file every story idea, every name, everything, just so it won't keep cluttering my head while I'm trying to work, and I'm still shaking my laptop like everything. Man, am I this twitchy? So that was 287 for Saturday, and Sunday I wrote nothing. I was just too tired. Most Sundays, I basically do nothing. It's my just rest all day. So that's making everything look crooked. Okay. I was trying to lift it up a little so I wouldn't maybe move it as much. So laptop's shaking. So last week, my weekly word count was 3,386, which is about a little over average for me when I have focusing on a story and I'm somewhat consistent with it, I think. Which sounds pathetic, and trust me, it is. I didn't quite make my 2,000 word goal, which the goal is different than the word count. Word count for words includes everything, whereas the word goal is just the stories I need to be focusing on. I've got 2 fanfictions plus this one scene, and all through 3. I really need something to drink. If those count. Oh man, I need coffee. Where was I? Right, so it's only for 3 things, and I completely ignored that one fanfiction. I've been doing that a lot, ignoring that one. Just don't care about it right now. And my word, I didn't quite make the 2,000. It's 1,672, which I'm gonna say is close enough. So I don't really care that I missed it. But that week is done. So, as always, it's on to the next one. So, here's hoping this week is even better than the last one for all of us. This is Peace, Love, Pink, Xaniat.